Alright, you guys are being rude to each other, so I'm gonna read you a story about accepting others and, you know, that sort of thing. Alright, let's begin. Now, the star-belly sneeches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly sneeches had none upon theirs. The stars weren't so big, they weren't really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all, but because they had stars, the star-belly sneeches would brag we're the best kind of sneech on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they'd sniff and they'd snort. Well, have nothing to do with the plain-belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike on right past them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain-belly get in the game? Not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly sneeches had frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-belly sneeches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches, and kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems while the plain-belly sneeches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and clean, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that, I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work with great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly sneech? My friends, you can have them for just $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside, and the big machine roared. It clonked and it bonked and it jerked and it burked and it bopped them right out. But the thing really worked. When the plain-belly sneeches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars from the start. "We're still the best sneeches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know?" They all frowned. "Which kind is what? Or the other way around?" Then came up McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who, that's perfectly true, but come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best sneeches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each. Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption takes off your stars, so you won't have to look like sneeches that have them upon theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. With their snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and let out a shout. "We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. We're the best kind of sneeches. They're sneeches without." Then, of course, those with stars got all frightfully mad. To be wearing a star was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them to his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you can probably guess, things got into a really horrible mess. And for the rest of the day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up sneeches. On again, off again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced around and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until the plain or the star-bellies knew whether this one was that one or that one was this one, or which one was that one or what one was who. Then when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went, and he left as he drove his car up the beach. They will never learn, though you can't teach a sneech. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm happy to say, that the sneeches got really quite smart on that day. And they decided that sneeches are sneeches, that no kind of sneech is the best on the beaches. That day, the sneeches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. I hope you learned something from that story. It's a classic. Love your neighbor.